Today we're going to take a look at a very strong new special. Some would even say a bit too strong. I'm going to tell you my thoughts about the new KRAKEN Royale in Splatoon 3 from a pro player perspective and analyze its strengths and its weaknesses. KRAKEN was one of the best specials back in Splatoon 1, where specials were a lot stronger in general, so in order to try and make the special field balance at Splatoon 3, the devs had to make a few adjustments. It's significantly slower, the abilities and tactical buffs do not affect its speed, and it takes 2 hits to kill instead of just 1. Now, some of you might argue it's still an extremely OP special because it's the only invincible special in the game. Booyah Bomb, Big Bubbler and Crab Tank might have a lot of health, but in certain situations you can still shred them. Not KRAKEN though. If you see a KRAKEN, your only option is to run away and try to dodge it. That doesn't mean that KRAKEN is a no-skill special though. KRAKEN, as every other special, does have its weaknesses, even if they're not many. Let's start with its activation. As with Crab Tank and Booyah Bomb, when you press the right stick on your controller, it takes a few frames for you to transform. Now, I don't have the specific frame data, but in the game this is easily noticeable, and in this window the user can still take damage. This means that when activating those specials in the midst of a fight, chances are high they will die before finishing the activation. Most of the time those specials can serve as a panic button as soon as you start losing a fight. What comes after the activation frames is what makes KRAKEN as scary as it is. Full invincibility for 7 seconds. Now, as you most likely know, KRAKEN isn't a special meant to get a lot of paint, or defend an area, or force the enemy team to move out of a certain part of the map, but in most situations serves one purpose only: getting kills. And in order to get kills without dying yourself, you have to know exactly when, where and how to use it. Should I use KRAKEN and then push up? Should I approach closer before activating? Can my teammates help me when my KRAKEN runs out? Should I go on tower or try to get kills in front of it? As with most other specials, decision making plays a huge role. Another weakness of KRAKEN is its ending animation, where the user transforms back into their squid form but is unable to use their weapons for more or less an entire second, and is again completely vulnerable to any attack. This means that if you use KRAKEN with multiple opponents around and are unable to clean up the area or back out before it runs out, it's sure to get you killed most of the time. Another, if not as big of a weakness, is that you can jump over its charged rolls. Of course, this requires a lot of good timing and a ton of confidence, and isn't always possible, but if you practice, you might be able to get away from KRAKEN by doing this. Now, this should cover all of its weak points, so to recap, if not used correctly, KRAKEN is extremely punishable when activating and ending, and can be jumped over, as well as simply outmaneuvered. So the reason I'm making this video is that a few days ago I recorded a video on how broken KRAKEN would be, and one day later I didn't feel like I should upload the video because from just a few scrims and ranked matches I noticed that it didn't nearly have the impact I thought it would have. Sure, you might get 1, 2 or even more kills sometimes, but so can most other good specials, and as all other specials, it does have its glaring weaknesses that can be punished. KRAKEN does become a major problem in 2, maybe 3 out of the 4 ranked modes. Turf War and Splat Zones of course are not an issue, because even if it has very good offensive power, it does not paint. But if we take a look at the other 3 ranked modes, there's a few situations where just one KRAKEN can be enough to turn the game around with the enemy team not able to do anything against it. First, let's take a look at what KRAKEN can do in Rainmaker. The KRAKEN user can swim right in front of the Rainmaker carrier, effectively tanking most damage thrown at it for a very easy push. If you think it's an amazing special in Rainmaker, wait for what it can do in Clam Blitz and Tower Control. If you remember, Splatoon 2 had Baller, and in the early Baller meta of Clam Blitz, one strat was to have a Baller run up to the clam basket and give easy super jumps for the player that carried the clam. With KRAKEN, you can do the same thing, with the difference that the only thing you can do is watch. This can effectively break Clam Blitz overtime if you have a lead and the opponents have enough power clams to get the lead off this final push. The last mode where KRAKEN can basically solo the objective is Tower Control. KRAKEN's knockback value for most weapons is close to 0, with the only exception being Booyah Bomb's value at 5 and Tri-Strike's value set to 10. This means that if you get on tower as a KRAKEN, an invincible special, may I remind you, all the opponents can do is watch. Only if they have one of those 2 specials with higher knockback power and they manage to get on tower in time before the KRAKEN does, they can stand a chance. So you can say Kraken is OP, but only in very specific situations, just like most other specials. And we're lucky that only 96 Deco and KRAKEN Royale currently have the special, since those main weapons have other weaknesses like bad paint, RNG and so on. I think Kraken is currently not a big issue for the game, but could still deserve a few nerfs that makes it so that it can't interact with the objective and tower control, or give super jumps only to the spot where it first got activated, like Inkjet and Zipcaster, which would limit its ability to give free scores in Clan Blitz. There's a lot of possibilities to balance it out, and as long as no weapon like the 52 Gal or Spattershot get the special, Crab Tank will stay far more popular than Kraken. Now, that's it. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and a massive thanks to all of you out there, because yesterday we reached 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. Also, a big thanks for the massive support on the LastResort interview. All the hard work paid off. See ya in the next one.